Hello everyone and welcome back once again to Gary Grigsby's War in the East. Once again here in August 23rd. Let's take a peek at what we might be able to do. I got this Arab Special Purpose Battalion out here, but unfortunately I actually kind of need to send it. From this turn, in order to kind of like, well, let's just say keep the role play going, so to say, I need to send troops to Western Europe. So they're at 73% due to that Dieppe raid, whatever, which is totally harmless. But they decided that I'm gonna need more forces there, which means I don't really have any more reinforcements that I can send. The same applies to the Balkans. Is not good enough. Africa is not good enough. The garrison is okay, but like what I have in reserve here, obviously is not good enough for wherever I need to send it. It's funny that this is 0, but I'll transfer this to the map. Like all those flag battalions, etc., they can still go as a separate infantry regiment. I can't send it for now, and I probably will not send it. We'll see. It just means that I'm going to need to send units to the east. I can not actually afford to do that, but I want to say we've almost won anyway, so. Right, let's quickly go over everything, because like I said, the reorganization is going to take several turns as well, even though we're almost at the end of the game. It just kind of means that, like, stuff like this, that's just straight up no good. How did it even come to that? Anyway. I'm gonna send away this Finnish infantry division since it needs to go to Finland. Which means that I could just as well put this under the OKH for now. It doesn't really matter whether it gets reinforcements or not. Which means that these guys are less overburdened. Let's put this under the 38th. Man, these guys are powerful. Huh. Yeah, let's do that just for kicks. Right, so I have only one Finnish troop left. To be honest, there might not have really been any necessity to get any of the Finnish forces out here in hindsight, because actually pretty fast after you've taken Leningrad, the Russians do come and take this. One thing that would be really great to see in the future is to see the, at the bare minimum, see the Finnish front kind of like diminish, in the sense that, look, the Finnish don't need to send troops here. They have these troops that they can send up here. So technically, if you think about it, they should have somewhat lower combat, ground combat. It's very low at the moment already, but I don't know. They should have less requirements here for that. So I think it would be only fair. And then, of course, if you also take this area, it should be even lower. Or I think it would be really awesome if it would be possible to get the whole of Finland, or to get all of this territory here as well, like Murmansk, etc., if you pour enough units into Finland itself. I think that would be really awesome, to be honest. Like, indeed, that you would take all of this territory like this at some point then, and that's basically then where that stops. I just think then if you put like maybe like 5 VP there or something for the Finnish going all the way, completing their whatever, however you want to call it, like focus tree or something, or conquering tree, you would get some victory points for it. Personally, I think that would be a great addition. Obviously, the war in the west would, or in the east, would be a lot harder at that point. So you would have to balance sending additional troops to Finland towards, you know, doing stuff here. The same could easily apply for everything that might be going on in Africa. Like, you might be, okay, well, I'm gonna send planes and units to Africa. I know, there's shipping and stuff that wouldn't really work in real life. Because I think the biggest burden for the Africa Corps and the Italian armies there is supplies. To be honest, like that's just the biggest burden. The British dominion over the Mediterranean. I mean, the Italians aren't really contesting it, and the logistical issues definitely do play a part in it. But they could say something like, "You got." Like, do you want to send troops to Malta for points or things like that? Like, I think they could do a lot with that kind of stuff if they really wanted to. That would be really awesome. But yeah. Anyway, the problem now is that I have a part of that Finnish unit there. And I don't really like it. What I need to do now is kind of like put these under the 38th and switch them up with these. It's kind of weird like that. I guess it works. Alright, well. Got it, and now these guys are no longer overburdened, and these guys are also fine. I don't know why things got so weird there. These guys have trouble because of the breakup there, but that's fine. And the 18th Army in itself is also fine. There are a few Stuk battalions and a Pioneer battalion, so I need to take a look which one of these does not have Pioneers. These guys have 2. So let's send one of these Pioneers over to Army Group Center. At the very least. The 38th has 2 Werfers. Let's send one of these to Army Group Center. I know this is not Army Group Center, but still. Because these guys have 1 Pioneer, 3 Artillery. They don't have any Werfers. Alright, so actually 26th needed that Werfer, but that's okay. They also don't have a Stuk battalion, I think. Yeah, so 26th. And 38th also doesn't have any Stuks. How about you? They have a Werfer, a Pioneer, no Stuks. Well, let's send them to the 38th, both of them. So I would say that the 18th Army is in excellent condition of that. The supplies are marginal, but it's not the end of the world. Like, most of them at least have decent supplies and ammunition, so I'm not complaining about that. Alright, I did encircle these, interestingly enough, indeed. Wonder how many units there are in there, but any little bit helps, I suppose. Second Corps could do with 1 less Pioneer. You guys also have way too much. And you guys as well. So it's time to start shifting some over. 1 Pioneer Battalion going to Army Group South. Or let's just put them into Army Group B. For you, 1 Stuk, that's good. 1 Stuk Battalion. Let's send it over to Army Group B. And a Pioneer Battalion to Army Group A. I'm sure they can use it there eventually. Should have to see. And this Stuk Battalion will go to Army Group A. And the Pioneer Battalion to Army Group B. 1 Construction Battalion going into the OKH. They have Heavy Warfare, Pioneer, a Stuk, and then 3 Artillery. 4th Panzer Army has nothing else, so that's looking good now. You're not overburdened, you're not overburdened, and you're not overburdened. So 4th Panzer Army is now again in full 29. So they have 1 too many. 3rd Panzer Army has 2 too many. Yeah, that's tricky. If they were to combine, I guess that would no longer be the case. But that's tricky. I could also... Yeah, the Moscow Jaeger Regiment takes 1. So that's not 2. It doesn't work. But I cannot combine those, so... There's nothing I can do. Anyway, let's see what they got in there. Locked? Nothing? Okay. Pioneer stuck 333. Looking good. There is a unit here, which is under the 10th. That's weird. It's 1 part only. The rest is under the 5th, which is already overburdened, but it should be under the 20th then. Yeah. That makes a lot more sense this way. There we go. 20th, Pioneer, Heavy Warfare, Panzer Jaeger. They don't have any Stuks, but that's not necessarily a problem. You have 6, you have 5. Having additional Pioneers for you. And the 1st Corps has some artillery, 1 flag, 1 Pioneer. Ideally, I'll keep the 1st Corps as small as possible, because this Corps also has more, technically. Not that much, they also don't have any Werfers. But I'll send these Pioneers over to Army Group B. Any rate, I'll put the Moscow Jaeger under the 10th. So these are having 7, these are having 4. Let's also take a look at these generals, because this guy, Kuno von Both, needs to go, obviously. That's a disaster. Ideally, I'll take one who... Yeah, these seem to be on the better end with 7, at least 7 infantry. I'd rather not take one with 6 mechanized. So the Hasse Wilhelm is fine. As long as they have 7 infantry and their admin initiative and morale are good, so that's fine. I cannot change that many guys each turn, but I'll just try. Schurter is insane, so obviously no reason to change him there. But Turna, he should be switched to like 5-5-5. That's a disaster. I mean, I know I'm only playing for like 5 more turns, but still. Let's go for Hermann Recknagel. Again, he has reasonable morale and initiative at the very least. And look, he has a cool monocle, okay? Come on. We're doing it for the monocle. Anyway, I cannot switch any more units as my AP is currently 6, so any other stuff I'll have to do on the next turn. But that's 16th Army, so they could use some Stugs. I'll take a look at the OKH, because they are missing 1... and or Werfers, so 2... Yeah, 2 Stuks, 2 Werfers, technically. Let's go to the OKH. It's in Minsk. They would go under the 18th Army, if I can help it. And all of these... Why are they... Okay, so they're frozen. If I cannot send them, they were there before as well, I think. Let's just transfer them back to Italy, then. I might have tried sending it from Italy. I actually don't remember, and that's a bit of a problem because it wastes a lot of time. It is kind of sucky at that, but because I can transfer them, that does make me suggest that they didn't get transported here. That's fine. No matter. Italy. It also like unclogs everything here a little bit. It is already Luftwaffe, Luftwaffe. Then I'm sending the Romanian construction battalions. I need to take a look. So the Romanian 3rd and Romanian 4th. I think I put everything on the Romanian 4th last turn. Yeah. So this is when I'm going to divide everything. I currently have no other things under this these Romanian units. So everything under the OKH. These Romanian construction battalions, they will go onto the 3rd and the 4th. 3rd. 4th. 3rd. And 4th. Then all these Italian labor battalions also can't do anything, so they have to be sent to Italy as well. And Italian construction battalion. The rest are all regular construction battalions. So I'll see where they're missing eventually, just like with the flag. I don't have any Stugs or anything else there. Something to keep in mind. Maybe I have something on the Army Group Center. I have some artillery. I'll have to see where those need to get sent, but let's also take a look at Army Group North, which is at Veliki Luki. They have nothing, okay. That's fine. Alright. Next, let's look at the 3rd Panzer Army. Given by its current position, I think they should be going into Kaluga this way. So let's move them there. I mean, given the way that they are positioning themselves, they should be there. Who would have ever thought? Anyway, they have 12 out of 12. And they could use a Stuk technically, but they're fine. And this is where the mess starts, because we have the 43rd Corps and these guys. So this is what I should be doing, I think. This is 218th. Which should be under the 39th here, everything. Let's put you under the 39th. You don't have any support units, right? No. So this is like that. Now I'll take the 43rd. I'll put it into Medin. Like this is no good. This stops kind of here. So for the 43rd, I would put you guys under the 43rd. You under the 43rd? Ooh, they have a bunch of stuff that will need to get taken off. As well, again. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half. 5, and then these guys already need to be put under something else. Because do I have more core here? Yes, I do. This motorized core, this one, that also has 14 out of 12, so they technically cannot take either this or this. I have the 57th Panzer Corps, which should take this, and then the 57th. That's where it starts. You're still at 14. It should be a 13 now. And if I take this, the 227th Infantry Division, which will also go under the 57th. That at least has these two in this position, which is pretty reasonable. I'll take this unit off of the front line. It's at 53%, or at least put it in here. I'll still reorganize the 9th and move them around, but for the moment, just being busy with this is... Okay, so then I think if these guys will be put into that motorized core, we should be okay. So these... Oh no, they're 13. Crap. Well, I guess at this point, there's not a whole lot I can do. I have to put you into Tarusa. I'm actually quite curious at the capture date and loss date. Tarusa, October 24th, lost December. Germans captured nothing to the east of that, like here, I guess. Yeah, they didn't capture any of those cities here. Taking back scope in for the cause. Okay. Well, it's the first time I'm capturing it, though. You need to stay in Chula. Okay. Let's take a look at their support units. This thing is actually more akin to infantry. It has 2 motorized units. But to be fair, I don't even know how long those are going to stay in there. That's actually... It has Rendulic, which is pretty good for both. Let's just keep them. I mean, this is a pretty important front. So I do want my units to have a little bit more oomph. 3rd Panzer Army itself had nothing. But it apparently has those 3... Oh, yeah. Okay, that's no good. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means they need to move up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm actually inclined to have the 57th Motorized Corps take these guys. The Ghost Division. Which means that some of them are not going to be under the HQ. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no position that I can go that also covers both of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I go here, that would actually be okay. I'm not taking these then, but that's less bad than not having these. Yeah, so this HQ has all of those guys now because I need to put these under the 47th, even though they're not in supply then. Or not in HQ range. Alright, how are these HQs? They're okay. And this motorized corps artillery, a Panzerjäger, they have slightly too much flak. Let's send that heavy flak over to Army Group A. And one mixed flak battalion to Army Group B. And one road construction battalion to the OKH. They don't have any pioneers, but they might have it under individual units, so I'm gonna have to unseparate them again at some point and then just take a look where if those units might go. I don't think any of these had so many pioneer units that they could spare. These guys have none, for example. Do I have pioneers in Army Group Center? Because no. At least not to spare. Okay. Not this turn anyway. That's 3rd Panzer. Let's take a look at 9th Army. And 9th Army is currently here in Belev. Oh, an interesting place. But they have a very small group of units. 8 out of 9. Let's take a look at individual units that might have something. I actually want to keep them away from the Soviet units here. But not too much. Getting them into Dubna is fine. You can stay on the front line though, and then if I could have taken them away I would, but I can't. None of these have additional units. Let's take a look at the next HQ. This one needs to go up here. I mean here. They have 7 and a 9. If I can actually make do with one less, I think. I mean, they can get another infantry, so this one will then go to 4, and this go. Okay, I can't technically. Anyway, let's take a look. None of those guys have additional stuff, I think. No, they don't. Okay. Are they on our they're fine on support units. How are both of these? The 35th Corps could use some extra. And yeah, let's send 2 artillery and some flak. If I can send it directly, that'd be great. I cannot. So there'll be 9th Army for now. Yeah, let's send all 3 and then also quite a bit of flak there. There we go. It probably doesn't cover everything, but it should cover some. Right, so now I only need to position them. Ideally, at least this mountain division needs to go in here. It's to refit. You're already away from the front line, but you do need to be on refit as well, being at 50%. These guys need to not be on refit, but they still need to be away from the front line if it can help it. I only get to potentially move here this way. One thing that I actually then kind of want to do, which is a bit unfortunate, yeah, they do have rival divisions. I want to take this actual hex so that if I build a rail line next turn from here over to this side, I will not get a penalty once I beat these two. So I can kick these guys away, and then this will be relatively easy still because I can just go here and then up and up. And that shouldn't really be that big of a problem. Looking at the rail lines here as a whole, I need to defeat this group before I can actually even start working on getting anything up into this section still, which is kind of in line with what happened before. I can get it up to here, but then, you know, things are a bit tricky around here with all of these smaller pockets still behind the lines and things like that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's 9th Army. Let's continue on with the 4th. And the 4th is a bit of a mess now too. Like this is 8 and that's all well and nice, but then what else do I have here? Ah, okay. None of these should be in refit. If they're above 70, I will keep them in ready mode. Need to be a bit more careful with that. Like these guys don't need to be in refit because they're at 87. And these guys don't need to be in refit either because they're also at 71. So they should be at ready. It also means they can actually move up. I do need to see where the supply hex is. You're at 52, so let's get you back into refit. And this mountain division is at 50 as well, so. And both of these should be in refit though, because they're at 68 and 68, so they actually do need to get additional resources. I also want to build a depot at Malayarslavats now, again, because at least I'm 1 hex away from there. I know I don't have the rail line all the way there. But that's okay. Right, 4th Army it is, so it would probably make a bit more sense if you would be put under the 9th here, and they will just take those 4. you get put under the 13th. So they take a bunch of units there now. This is the actual army. Yeah, this is looking a lot better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can stay in here for now. I already have one at Litebsk. 1, 2, 3. Oh, actually, I can move in here. They can go to ready, but both of these need to be in refit. You'll have to be in refit. They are isolated now, but I believe they got actually reconnected. I don't think I can kill these guys at the moment. I don't think. You still need to be refitted though. Let's take a look at... Okay, they have 24, 27. What that means is I can put some units in the 4th army and then I can shuffle around a bit. So, which HQ? You have 8, 8, 8. I have 3 HQs here now. No 4th. If I'm gonna... Oh. Shuffle those. And Otto Wöhler is actually pretty decent. Let's get him around here to Yelets. Put him under the 4th army. The next turn I can get some units from 9th under that corps, and then also put some support units there so that I can shift some units from 3rd Panzer over there as well. Seems good. We're looking on the actual support units there. Nothing too fancy. Nothing too fancy. And an additional pioneer. So let's send those pioneers already to the 23rd for later. And then from the OKH, I already know I need 3 construction units. So why am I looking at Kiev here? 4th Army, 4th Army, 4th Army. And they will need some additional flak. 4th Army, 4th Army. Alright, there we go. Not to forget, the Netherlands SS motorized. How are they doing? 86%. They would need to get onto a rail. There are none. Let's just get them onto Parnu. And then next turn from there, they'll be going somewhere else again. Closest rail is Pskov still. Yeah. Okay, that's that. I have one last thing that I'm going to do here for this episode. That's divide the Romanian unit. Because I definitely need to do that, and I'm almost out of time here. So there are in total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. So we get to send 5 to the Third Army. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anti-tank. We have 6 artillery under this one, so let's send one more anti-tank company to the third. These are 47mm Breda. Then, in terms of artillery regiments, I will send 2 of those to the third. They are unready, so I'll send 1 ready, 1 unready. These contain mostly 75mm Vickers and then some minor units here. Third. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's send 3 Pioneer battalions. So keep 4. Those construction battalions can't move because I already divided them, of course, from the OKAs. Right. 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18. So I'll send 9 machine gun battalions, of which 2 unready. No. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. 9. I'd probably send it to some Romanian corps here. Let's pray, otherwise I will never find it. And that would be really bad. I'll probably send these guys over there to refit. They're at 45% TOE, so that's no good. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3 core. And all of them equally big. That means that, well, let's actually see. I think it was the 7th. They already have a machine gun battalion. Let's send 1 to the 4th. Those are unready, I know. 1 to the 6th. Another 1 to the 6th. Another 1 to the 4th. And 1 to the 7th. 7th. 4th. 6th. 2 pioneers to the 7th. Because they have the tanks. 1 to the 4th. And 1 to the 6th. 1 artillery to the 7th. The unready AA to the 4th. Another one to the 7th. And this one goes to the 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 4th. Then there are a bunch of cavalry battalions. And I'll send them to 1 each. Alright, I cannot divide the ones under the 3rd Romanian army at the moment because they're all, you know, stuck under the army, of course. But at the very least, they are divided under the 4th now, and next turn I'll divide them under the 3rd as well. This is a multi-turn project, as I stated before. So we'll continue to see more and more reorganization over the next couple of turns. It also means that they do take quite a bit longer for each turn than you would than it would otherwise, especially like this at the end of the game. That's maybe a bit weird, but look, I should have done this a long time ago, obviously. So here it is still. I'm sure it's still of use for the last few turns. Either way, that leaves me with half of the battlefield covered, I suppose, at least the northern sector, and a big chunk of the center as well, which is nice. I feel like I need to shift these again a bit further. Not only do I want to have Army Group Center at Bryansk at this point. You're on Army Group B. Why is Wilhelm Keitel? He must have... 36 is needed to replace him. Crap. Yeah, I will need to muster up points for that. Fitter von Bock is fine, mostly because he has a good admin score. Moral initiative reasonable. Yeah. Yeah, where to put it, The thing is, here, I can have 13 more. They'll be severely overburdened if I take 3rd Panzer, but at the moment, Army Group North is overburdened. By a lot. Let's see, because Army Group A... B... I mean, I cannot take 6th Army for Army Group A. One thing I can do, which might be slightly more reasonable, is take 4th Army put those on Army Group B, which means Army Group B is overburdened, yeah. But then if I put 3rd Panzer Army on the Army Group Center, yeah, the amount that they're overburdened now is not so much anymore, but the interesting thing is this is 24. So if you take 9th Army, Army Group Center is doing okay again. And Army Group North should be doing okay relatively soon too. Now Army Group B is overburdened. But not by so much. And if they take away the Italian army, then it's not really a problem at all. They could take 22, but I believe every single of these is too much at that point, right? Right. So Army Group B, given its current position, should be in Valuki. You should be on the Army Group A. For now. Then Army Group A is in a fine position. Can actually use these still. Right, well, I will continue with that in a little bit. I might actually just route these so I can keep working on this rail line. But I'll see about that. Anyway, what that means is Army Group Center now has only the 2 Panzer armies at the moment, which is enough anyway. And it means I'm moving the OKH now. And I wanted to get it into Gomo, but I guess I can't. Let's just keep it there until I can move it further. I can. Okay, let's move it by rail into Gomo now. Because I need the OKH to be closer to those HQs there. The mountain construction battalion is attached to it. I'm surprised. It's not damaged. well. At any rate, I'm gonna wrap things up here. I wanna thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please do consider leaving a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, see you then. Bye-bye.